I wanted to discuss perhaps the conclusion of the book, but through the first person that you introduce, which was Medal of Honor winner Commodore Ernest Evans, because you end the book by saying that there are a number of traits about decision makers, such as gathering all the intelligence, understanding the timeline, considering all the possible outcomes. But as you look at his story, is there one of those or two of them that you think mattered the most?
Let's just say a word about Commander Evans. Really a remarkable figure. Comes from Native American family. He's 3/4 Native American. He goes to the U.S. Naval Academy and graduates, works his way up in the surface Navy, and becomes a destroyer captain. And he's got an assignment at the Battle of Leyte Gulf down to the south of Halsey, who's chasing away to the north, impetuous and frankly foolishly pursuing what he thinks is the main thrust, when Commander Evans is part of a tiny flotilla of destroyers assigned to cover the main landing force. And of course, that landing force is absolutely naked to a Japanese attack. And Japanese heavy ships, battleships, cruisers are flowing into the battle area. And this leads Evans and his fellow destroyer captains to, it's an amazing story. They charge with these destroyers, these light ships. They charge this massive Japanese battle force. The Japanese can't believe it's happening. The book you want to read here is The Last Stand of the Tin Can Sailors. Great title, right? By James Hornfisher. Yeah, it's an extraordinary book. And it tells the story of these destroyers, this handful of destroyers. The Japanese think, well, this can't be just a bunch of destroyers charging us. Clearly, there's a main American battle fleet back there. So they shoot up these destroyers. They sink the Evans. They sink a number of others. A couple others survive and go limping away. But the Japanese admiral is shaken. He just can't imagine that a bunch of destroyers would attack the massive main thrust of the Japanese battle line. So he turns around. And that's what saves this American landing force. I mean, casualties would have been tens of thousands, if not over 100,000 could have been killed down there. It's really a remarkable moment. So that's the story of Commander Evans, who tragically does not survive. He's badly wounded on the bridge of the ship. Ship is sinking. He's last seen in the water, trying to rally his crew. He's been wounded in 3 places. The odds are high that he simply died and slipped into the waves. By the way, just a year ago, the USS Evans was found and recovered. One of the deepest, not recovered, we didn't bring it up, but we found it. We put artificial capability on it to examine it. We know it's the USS Evans. We know it's his ship, so it's been found. So Captain Evans' destroyer has been found, and it's a remarkable end to his story. So the quality of him, I think, is pretty evident. In this case, it's fortune favors the bold. It is the courage in a moment to charge, to go for the threat. And this is really, at the end of the day, what we ought to cherish about Commander Evans, Ernest Evans, and what we ought to cherish about our military is that we are men and women who will rise to the occasion. We will go toward the danger. And in so doing, in this case, because he risked it all, he effectively changed the course of this Battle of Leyte Gulf and was a significant part, a central part of driving away this Japanese battle force. Remarkable story. The quality there is sometimes you just got to act boldly, and that's what he did.